In the heart of a busy American city, on a sunny afternoon, a family of four made their way into the grand entrance of a shopping mall. The father was a police officer, a man who wore his badge not just as a duty, but as a symbol of power. His wife walked beside him, proud, elegant, and quick-tempered. Behind them, their two children laughed and played, enjoying the excitement of a family day out. The mall was crowded, buzzing with families, shoppers, and workers going about their daily routines. Bright lights, polished floors, and rows of shops welcomed them. On the surface, it looked like an ordinary day. But this trip would soon unravel into an unforgettable story, one that revealed the ugly face of racism, power, and injustice. They moved from shop to shop, picking up clothes, toys for the kids, and a few items for the house. By the time they were done, they had a full cart. At the checkout, the total came to $90.05. The wife reached into her purse, took out the money, and confidently handed over what she believed to be the correct amount, $90. Behind the counter stood a young cashier, a black girl in her early 20s. She was soft-spoken, hard-working, and new to the job. Her role was simple: scan, total, and collect exact payment. But she also knew one rule very well. No item leave the counter unless the payment is complete. She looked at the money, then at the screen. Politely, she explained, "Ma'am, you're short by 5 cents. The total is $90.05. The wife frowned. "It's just 5 cents. Let it go." But the cashier shook her head. "I'm sorry, ma'am. Store policy requires the exact amount before I can release your items." The officer stepped forward, trying to reason. "Look, I have the 5 cents in the car. Come with us. I'll give it to you." But again, the cashier stood her ground. "I understand, sir, but I can't leave my counter, and I can't release the goods without full payment. Please, it's company policy." The officer's wife lost patience. Her voice rose, echoing through the store. "Are you serious? Over 5 cents? You think you're smart because you're hiding behind rules? You should be grateful people like us even shop here." The young cashier held her ground, though her hands trembled slightly. She repeated softly, "I'm only doing my job." Instead of stepping in to calm his wife, the officer's face darkened. His pride, his authority, and his hidden prejudice boiled over. What happened next stunned everyone nearby. The officer moved closer to the counter, his voice sharp, his eyes filled with intimidation. "You think you can disrespect my family? Do you know who I am?" He grabbed the counter, leaned in, and began threatening her. The wife joined in, hurling insults. Other shoppers slowed down, whispering, but no one dared interfere. Moments later, the officer's anger spilled into violence. He raised his hand and slapped the cashier across the face. Gasps filled the store. The young girl staggered back, holding her cheek, tears welling in her eyes. The manager rushed out, panic in his voice. "Sir, please calm down. Let's resolve this peacefully." But the officer wasn't done. He forced the young cashier to kneel before his children and beg for forgiveness. Humiliated, she complied, trembling. Then he forced her to beg his wife as well. The abuse continued, slaps, insults, and humiliation, all because of the missing 5 cents and the color of her skin. The manager stood frozen. He wanted to intervene, but fear held him back. This was a police officer, someone with authority, someone who could turn the tables if challenged. Other shoppers pretended not to see. Some shook their heads. Some quietly recorded on their phones. But no one stopped it. The young cashier, trapped between duty and survival, endured the assault. Her tears fell silently, mixing with the shame and fear that weighed heavy on her. When the family finally left, bags in hand, the store returned to its uneasy rhythm. But the scar of what happened lingered. The cashier collapsed in the back office, her co-workers comforting her. She had followed the rules. She had done nothing wrong. Yet she was treated as if her dignity, her humanity, her existence meant nothing. The officer returned to his daily life as though nothing had happened. His wife felt justified. His children had learned a dangerous lesson, that power could be used to oppress, and that some lives were seen as less valuable than others. This was not just a story about 5 cents. It was a story about power, race, and the abuse of authority. It was about a system where a man in uniform could commit an injustice without consequence, while a young black woman was left to suffer in silence. How many times had this happened before? How many times had voices been silenced, dignity stolen, and truth buried under fear? This was more than a shopping mall incident. It was a reflection of the bitter reality many face every day. As the world watched from the outside, the cashier's story became another echo in the long struggle against racism and injustice. Her courage to stand by her duty, even in the face of humiliation, was a quiet act of resistance. Her tears told a story that words alone could not. And as viewers, we are left with a haunting question. When will justice truly mean justice for everyone? Please share, like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more interesting stories like this.